I'm going to share 3 chatbot tools I think you'll find very handy. The first is labs.perplexity.ai. You don't even need to log in to get started. Perplexity allows you to chat with any of the Llama models, and that allows you to test how they each perform on different tasks. So let's just try out how it does here. Now you'll notice that Llama is very heavily fine-tuned, so it even will have moral issues with spelling things backwards. So that particularly is a problem with the smaller model. Let's try the larger model here. So the larger model has no trouble handling it, and the intermediate model. So it has no trouble either. Very handy if you want to test something quickly. One drawback is you can't easily control the prompt for the system, so you just have to work with it as is. All right, the second tool is chatbotui.com. This is kind of a replica of OpenAI's chat. However, you use your own API key. I'll come back to why that's valuable. But it also lets you set temperature. Normally, OpenAI sets the temperature maybe around 7 or 8, so you'll tend to get some randomness in your responses, which can be good for answers that are like stories, but not so good if you want a summary. Here you can just set it to 0. You can also nicely set the system prompt here. I've selected GPT-4. Let's say start every response by organizing our chat so far and providing a brief summary to keep context. This should allow me to keep context when I ask for long chats. So let's say plan a 1-week trip to Berlin. So we'll have GPT-4 provide a basic itinerary. Let's allow it to provide at least 1 day, maybe 2 days, and then I'll just stop generating. And now say plan a 1-week trip to Paris. And notice how GPT is going to start by summarizing the request to Berlin. Now, you could adjust that initial system prompt and give it more specific guidance to give a more detailed summary. One of the great things about Chatbot UI is that because it uses your API key, well, the downside is you pay for each token you use. The upside is that your data is not going to be used to train OpenAI's model. In OpenAI, when you create a new chat, that's always going to train OpenAI's model, or at least it can be used by them for training. One tip there is to go to settings, go to data controls, and turn off the chat history and training. This means your chats won't be saved, so you can achieve kind of the same effect as Chatbot UI. Now, the Pro plan is $20 per month. So you may save money by using Chatbot AI with an API key if you're using not so many prompts per day. With GPT-4, you can think of it as it's about $1 for 100,000 for about 100,000 words. So if you've got $20, that's 2 million words. So if you're using less than 2 or more than 2 million words, you should probably use ChatGPT's chat.openai. And if you're using less, it's probably cheaper to use Chatbot UI. All right, let's move on to the third tool here, which is Llama CCP. I'm going to start by showing you a demo. Llama CCP can be run right on your browser. This is just running here on a Mac that I have. Here I have prompt. This is really the system prompt. I have user and Llama. I can set the temperature and I can say something here. Tell me about Mars. And let's click send. So here I'm chatting using the compute on my Mac. It does take a little bit for the first prompt to occur because the model weights are loading, but we should soon get an answer here. And once it gets rolling, the generation speed should be a little bit better. So here you go. I'll ask, what are the other planets in our solar system? This is quite a nice interface. It also allows you to put in custom system prompts, as I showed you on the last screen, so it can be quite a handy tool. Now, let me briefly show you how to get this set up. The main documentation is available over at just going to, because it's going to take up too much of my memory. But there are more simple instructions that I'll just make available. I've put them on the Trelis research repo. If you're on a Mac, you can just clone the Llama CCP repo, and you can do, if you don't have an M1 chip, just do make. Otherwise, if you do have an M1 chip, which I do, I've done llama metal equals 1 make. If you've Windows, you can download the code, set up and build using make, or even better, you can make using OpenBlast, which will allow you to do multiple threads at once. Now, once you've done that, you need to download the model weights. I've linked here the model weights. You can find them on Hugging Face. So you should be able to just go in and click download here for getting those model weights. I've selected a small model that's quantized to 3 bits. You can check out one of my videos on quantization if you want to learn more about how these models are shrunk down in size. Once you've downloaded that into the right folder, you'll then just be able to run this command. Note the NGL here. This means pushing the computation to the GPU. Llama has 32 layers, so you need this to be at least 32. You can make it a bit higher if it might offload also the KV cache, which is the attention cache. So this allows you to run very fast on a Mac. It won't be quite as quick on Windows, but if you do the install with OpenBlast, that should certainly help out. So just copy that into your terminal and press paste and run. It'll run the server. It'll give you an address. Here you can see my local address, port 8080, and then it'll run the app like this. Now, before we go, there are 3, but let me give you a 4th. You can also run a chat in a Jupyter notebook. This is also going to be great if you're going to be running in a way that you don't want to provide your data to somebody for training. So let's just run this model here. And it looks like the setup here, the model is just loading. So we'll give this a second. It's going to ask me if I want to use Bing search. You can if you want to put in an API key, but I'm just going to select no, because this model does have function calling enabled. And it's now loading here. Okay, and after just about a minute, the model is loaded. By the way, you just click runtime run all, and you should be able to run everything here. And now you'll have this chat interface appear. So you could say, hello. Let's ask again, what are the planets in this solar system? And send. So we have the message being sent. Notice that we haven't turned on Bing, so if we try and call Bing, it's not going to work.